Hey guys, what's going on? I'm bringing you guys a phase tips and highlights video for Paragon. Now, wait, quick side note before we get into it. Have you guys heard this new Kendrick? I'm sitting here listening to this new Kendrick, and the shit is so flame. I'm rocking out to it. But we're not here to talk about how great Kendrick Lamar is. We're here to talk about how great FaZe is. Now, FaZe is the newest support hero in Paragon, and if you guys don't know, I partially main support. Now I do offlane and jungle, anything but mid. And carry I consider I main. But we're gonna talk about FaZe. FaZe is dope. FaZe is great. Here we go. Now FaZe, she's different, and you have to kind of play her like a burst caster, and think of her playing like a defensive Countess or a Gideon or a Gadget. You kind of have to alternate your abilities to make sure that you've always got something on, something's off cooldown and you're using an ability. Because FaZe's lifeline to herself and her teammates is that health regen. Now that health regen is key. You've got to keep your abilities rotating. Like you see, I'm blinding, I'm pulling, I'm using her energy lance. I'm making sure that always an ability is going off, so someone's got health regen. Like, look at my team. We've been in this fight for like 20 seconds now. Look at their health. Like, everyone is top health. Everyone's almost max health, and that's how you got to keep your abilities just constantly going through cooldown. Even if you don't necessarily need it, but just try and find the ability that will make the most sense to use in that moment, if that makes sense. You'll practice it and it'll make more sense. Like right now, Morgesh is engaging. She backs off our energy lance. Another thing to do is whenever you're using energy lance, people think that her flashbang is the only ability that can hit multiple people, but you really have to try and line up her energy lance to hit multiple people, because it pins and it stacks the same on multiple people. It doesn't like scale down depending on how many targets you hit. You can hit 100 targets with it. If 55 targets out of that 100 get 8 stacks, 55 targets are going to be rooted. And that's what you guys have really got to, make sure you're doing with FaZe. And another thing is that you got to make sure that you're frontlining with her. Because of her health regen, she is a great frontliner because she's always going to have health. She's always, if you keep your abilities rotating, she's always going to be getting health back. So people are going to be trying to focus you, and all you have to do is just, zone them with your flashbang and your energy lance and make sure that you don't get hit enough to where they can burst you down. Now, one thing, I've talked a lot about offensive play with her, but defensive play. Now, she is her teammate's lifeline. She is the support. She keeps them alive. But conversely, her team keeps her alive because they do the damage. FaZe keeps them alive. Now, with that being said, her most iconic, I guess you could say, support ability is her pull, her teleblink, or telekinetic link. Sorry, teleblink. I was making another video earlier today, but telekinetic link. Now, this ability, is her pull. This is her get out of jail free card. This is her, hey, why is your ass trying to 1v4 them? You're a chimera. Just calm down a little bit. It keeps her teammates alive. Now, with that being said, it's not just a simple, hey, let me pull you and you don't die and no one dies ever. You kind of really have to finesse it because, one, you have to make sure that you have your link on the right target, which is primarily going to be your frontliner. You only want to really link your carry if your carry is being prioritized, and then you really want to link your carry, flashbang, use your flare, pull them out, and then link back to your frontliner and energy lance and zone people. That's a combo that I found really works a lot. But, yeah, her pull, going back to that, like I said, keep it on the frontliner. They're going to be the ones in the front taking the most damage, so they're going to need the most amount of health regen, and they're going to need the slows and the flashbang the most. And if you keep them in the front line, they're going to be trying to work their way to the carry, so using the flare on them is going to give you the greatest probability to hit multiple targets with her flare. Okay, so now we're going to talk more about the telekinetic link, and about using it a bit more defensively. And in regards to, just trying to save someone's life with it, you kind of have to be a bit careful. You can't just yank them and they'll be just fine. you have to scout the enemy team, if you're about to engage in a team fight or during the draft phase, and watch out for heroes that have lockdown abilities. Now, lockdown abilities are going to be people like Countess and her ult, Chimera and his ult, ults that just keep someone in place for X amount of time. And those are the ults you're going to want to watch out for, and those people in the team fights that you're going to want to watch out for while you're trying to execute these pulls. Because if you try to pull someone out of a Countess or Chimera ult, it's not going to work. And then you're going to be sitting there confused and just disoriented. Now, one thing I wanted to emphasize is the frontline play of FaZe. Now, like I said earlier, she has fantastic sustain. So you can really frontline as a support and really draw their aggro a lot. You'll see, like, I'm baiting out a lot of ultimates. Like, I just baited out that Quang ult. I'm gonna bait out a Revenant ult in this fight, just because, or I think it was another fight. But you really want to frontline just because that health regen, and you can see, look, I just walk up to Murdoch, and I'm in his face. I'm forcing him to move around me to try and target my teammates. I see Revenant scar me, so I'm backing off, but I'm still gonna be frontlining. I walk right up to Revenant. I make sure I slow him down so he's not going anywhere. I'm still getting blinds off, and you really just want to. You see, like, a lot of times I'm just barrel stuffing people with that flare, just to make sure that they're blinded, and even if they come out of it, they're focusing me, not my teammates, just because of my amazing regen. Now, here's one thing I want to show you guys: offensive under tower play. Now, usually, like I said earlier, you link the front line, and we had a Kallari here, so I drop a ward, and she was doing a lot of damage, and I saw Feng Mao hit her, so I blinded. And normally, if you blind under the tower, whoever it extends to will get the aggro of the tower, because it considers it as attacking enemy hero. So normally, if you blind under tower, make sure that you either have health regen on that person, or you want to pull them out, because they're gonna draw that tower aggro. So just be careful of that. This is gonna be another example of just really harass FaZe play. I see Quang ulting, I link Aurora because she's the lowest and closest to me, I blind. I see Kallari's gonna ult her, so I start I start using Energy Lance right on top of Aurora, so as soon as Kallari gets there, that she's just gonna be slowed down into a root. Now, Faye is, dishing out all sorts of damage on Kallari. She takes Kallari down. Revenant ults me to try and take me down. You see, he doesn't even get me past max health. Like, he just turns tail and runs, and I slow him because I know his ult is almost running out, and my teammate's going to be able to close in on that kill. Now, I think this this is just a Paragon WTF moment. Kallari ults in, and I try to slow her, and I realize that I have just chesticle energy beams, and I don't know what to do here. I realize that everything's frozen, so I'm like, I'm probably gonna lag out here soon. I can't even hit these minions, and I die. I'm dead. Just somehow. Don't know what happened. I'm dead. Thank you. Thank you, Paragon. But moving forward, this is another team fight. Feng Mao Reaping dashes on top of Revenant, ults him, drops him really quick, and I see the entire team rotating from the left side and mid. So I pop ult on Feng Mao, and you see I'm in their face. I barrel stuff all of them. Quang, I'm pretty sure he ulted while blind, so I'm not sure what he was doing there. But he gets down. I see Morigesh coming. I root her because I realize she's the next target we need to take out. And Kallari's coming in. She's about to ult on. Morigesh escapes, just barely, so close. I was gonna give chase, but then I see Kallari ults onto Feng Mao. I use a blind. She has no idea where we're at. I drop a ward so she can't go invis. Aurora lands a great ult on her, combo with the Hoarfrost, and we take her out. So now we got Prime off of that. I think we got 4 kills in that last fight. So we went and grabbed Prime, and now we're going right back to mid inhib, and fights popping off. Quang ults in, and I walk up, blind him. Feng Mao goes in. I leash onto him. Revenant gets Aurora. He's behind us. No one notices it yet, but Kallari, we drop wards, and we dump a lot of resources into Kallari because she was a problem in that game. Quang comes in, he's swinging. I see Revenant behind my Revenant, so I release on at him, and I ult just to make sure that we don't die. And then I'm gonna start popping abilities here. I see my Lance just hit off cooldown. I slow Quang, make sure he doesn't come and try and frontline or soak up any damage. And if you notice, like, I draw the tower aggro for the last half of that fight just to make sure it's not hitting anyone that, you know, I don't have a leash on or I don't have eyes on right now. And I mean, since I have those health regen stacks, that that health regen is just gonna keep me able to tank that tower for my entire team. And that is it. So that is my phase highlight and tip video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You know, if I left a good point, you know, make sure you tell me that. If I missed something, tell me that. If I'm a retard and don't know what I'm talking about, you know, sure, tell me that too. Might as well. But with that being said, make sure you guys leave a like, share the video, comment, and subscribe for more Paragon and other gameplay. With that, I'll see you guys next time.